Good afternoon. I'm Siti Isnihara Talib. I will be presenting about existentialism and Marxism, philosophic analysis, and special reference to the concepts of reality, knowledge, and values, and also their implications to aims, content, and methods of education. First, we're going to tackle about existentialism. Existentialism answers these questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose in life? Why do I exist? And what is my essence? Existentialism is from the Latin words ex means out and stare means to stand. And if you join that together, you will come out with the word existed means to stand out. It also means to appear, to arise, to become, and to be. So, what is essence? Essence is meaning, a purpose, what it is, and nature. So, what is existentialism? So it is the modern philosophical view which takes the Tao as its starting point. It is also subjective. So humans possess free will and stand in an absurd and meaningless world or universe. So they say that every individual is unique. Individuals have to take responsibility for their own actions and shape their own destinies. It gives emphasis on human responsibility and judgment and ethical matters. The individual is the sole judge of his or her own actions. The human freedom is understood precisely as the freedom to choose. So, one philosopher said, and I quote, existence precedes essence. So the human persons do not possess the essence. They make choices that create their own nature. So the human existence is the starting point of thinking. So choice is vital and inevitable to human existence. Even the refusal to choose is a choice. The freedom of choice entails risk, responsibility, and commitment. And also, the choice or decision makes one responsible for the effects of his choice, not only to himself but also to others, since his choice also affects other people. So, the values of existentialism are freedom of choice, individual dignity, personal love, and creative effort. According to Calderon in 2004, the factors that affect freedom of choice are number one, influence of the family, especially the parents. Now, so if may uh, meron kang decision na kailangan pagpilian, minsan isa sa mga considerations na tinitingnan mo is yung influence ng family mo, no? So, especially ng parents mo. So, may mga tao na yung family-oriented. So, in every choice they make, iniisip muna nila kung ano gusto ba ito ng parents ko? Ano, um, acceptable ba ito ng family ko? Pasok ba siya dun sa values ng family? Number two, influence of peers and associates, no? So, ah minsan kung meron kang desisyon, depende meron ding ano, minsan, um, kung meron kang desisyon na gagawin, tatanungin mo muna, big deal sa'yo yung mga friends mo, 'no. So, ang siste, tatanungin mo yung mga kaibigan mo, "Ano, okay ba 'to? Ano, gagawin ko ba 'to?" So, merong mga tao na gano'n. Minsan yung mga kasamahan mo sa trabaho, 'no, bago ka magdesisyon, nagtatanong ka muna, 'no. So, minsan nagko-crowdsourcing ka muna. Religious orientation, 'no. So, um, big deal sa mga choices yung religious orientation. Kasi in Islam, there are some limitations kung saan lang um, pwede makilahok yung babae, no? So, um, isa din yan sa mga factors na kinoconsider mo. So, social approval, no? So, um, social approval is yung bago ka magdesisyon is tinitingnan mo muna kung ano ba ito, katanggap-tanggap ba ito doon sa society, doon sa ibang tao, doon sa community o hindi. Number 5, cultural patterns, financial status, psychological traits, especially intelligence, sex, health and physical fitness, and education. So, who are the proponents? So, among the best known existentialist philosophers are Soren Kierkegaard, Martin Heidegger, Jean Paul Sartre, and Albert Camus. Soren Kierkegaard, 1813 to 1855, is a Danish philosopher born in Copenhagen. He is also the father of existentialism. And according to him, human existence is always individual in character, never social. Also, according to him, man functions, grows, develops, makes choices, suffers, experiences intense feelings, and faces God as an individual. And one of his famous quotes, and I quote, "Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced." The second proponent is Martin Heidegger in 1889 to 1976. Martin is a German philosopher whose work is associated with phenomenology and existentialism. His ideas have exerted influence on the development of contemporary European philosophy. And according to him, every man is born as many men and dies as a single one. Jean Paul Sartre, 1905 to 1980, a French philosopher and principal spokesman for the existentialist movement in post-war France. He is also an atheistic existentialist, so arguably the best known philosopher of the 20th century. Then he is the famous philosopher who said that existence precedes essence. So, according to him, essence is created by existence. Human nature is a product of existence. So, um, the man first exists without purpose or definition and finds himself in the world, and only then, as a reaction to experience, defines the meaning of life. Also, according to him, since there is no God or designer to give man a purpose, it is up to the individual to choose the life they think best. And we are responsible for everything we do. He also said, and I quote, man is condemned to be free, and the destiny of a man is placed within himself. The last one is Albert Camus in 1913 to 1960, a French Algerian journalist, editor and editorialist, playwright and director, novelist and author of short stories, political essayist and activist, and arguably, although he came to deny it, a philosopher. He opposed systematic philosophy. He also dealt over such questions as the meaning of life in the face of death. And according to him, and I quote, I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live as if there isn't and to die to find out that there is. So, what are the aim of education in existentialism? The first one, to help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals, to accept complete responsibility for their thoughts, feelings, and actions. Also, to educate the whole person, not just the mind, since feeling is not divorced from the reason and decision making, and to help the learner become fully his authentic self. The existentialist curriculum. So, what are the existentialist curriculum? Number one, learning is self paced or self directed. Students are given a wide variety of options from which to choose. Also, students are afforded great latitude in their choice of subject matter. The humanities are given emphasis to provide students with uh, vicarious experiences that will help unleash their own creativity and self expression. They are also uh, the, the curriculum are composed of fine arts, drama, creative expression, literature, and philosophy. The vocational education is seen more as a means of teaching students about themselves and their potentials than that of learning a livelihood. So, what are the methods of teaching um, in existentialism? So, the focus is on the individual itself. In teaching history, existentialists focus on the actions of historical individuals who provide possible models for the student's own behavior rather than emphasizing historical events. In arts, existentialism encourages individual creativity and imagination more than copying and imitating established models. The creativity is an expression of oneself. And teaching values. teachers employ values clarification strategy to help students know themselves and their place in society. Here, teachers remain non judgmental and take care not to impose their values on the students since values are personal. According to Del Castillo in 2013, through values clarification strategy, the learners will be able to practice sound moral reasoning skills, choose the appropriate response for a value of conflict, and commit themselves to personal, moral, and societal values. Then, values, values education is a matter of choice that goes throughout existence. Also, in existentialism, there should be private and open spaces in the classroom to facilitate dialogues, small group discussions, and individualization to lessen the tension, formality, and constraint experienced by the learners. So, criticism to any individual work is less important. So, what are the roles of teachers in existentialism? First one, to help students define their own essence by exposing them to various paths they take in life. To create an environment in which they freely choose their own preferred way. To relate with each student openly and honestly. To assist and guide the learner in the process of becoming intelligent, sensitive, choosing, and acting individual who knows the obligation and responsibility of freedom. To help the individual and know himself better, and also teachers are identifier of choices who challenges the learner to become fully existent. Teachers also create questioners and poser of alternatives. They also freely choose what subject or subjects they want to study as long as they are interested in it. And um, teachers define their own essence of meaning of life.